The moment I saw the envelope in her lawyer's hand, I knew my world was about to change. But what she didn't know was that I had been preparing for this day for months. That's how it all began. A marriage that started with laughter, promises, and shared dreams ended with silence, betrayal, and a lawyer's visit to my office. For 12 years, Claire and I had built a life together. A nice home, 2 kids, and what I thought was a solid bond. I worked long hours running my small construction firm, while she stayed home, managing the kids and the house. I thought we were a team, but over time, she started changing. It began with subtle things. Dressing differently, spending more time on her phone, going out with friends more often. Whenever I asked, she'd say, "Don't be so controlling, I just need a life outside of this house." I wanted to believe her. I really did. Then came the distance, the long silences at dinner, the coldness in her tone, and the feeling that I was living with a stranger. Still, I kept trying. I bought her flowers, planned small trips, but she always said, "I'm busy, maybe later." Then one ordinary Wednesday afternoon, everything came crashing down. I was in my office, reviewing contracts, when my secretary knocked. "Sir, there's a woman here to see you. Says it's important." In walked a sharply dressed lawyer holding a thick folder. She introduced herself as Mrs. Bennett, Claire's attorney. My chest tightened. She placed the envelope on my desk. "Mr. Anderson, your wife has filed for divorce. She requests full custody of your children and half of your company's assets." I froze. "Full custody? Half of my company? On what grounds?" She looked down at her papers. Irreconcilable differences. The lawyer left after handing me the documents. I sat there for a long time, staring at the papers, thinking of all the nights I worked overtime to build the life Claire now wanted to tear apart. But beneath the pain, something inside me hardened. I had noticed the signs, the lies, the whispers, the girls' nights that didn't add up, and instead of confronting her, I'd quietly started documenting everything months ago. Receipts, messages, photos, even her own words when she admitted she was tired of being a mom and wanted to find herself. She thought she was 2 steps ahead. She had no idea I was 10. When I got home that night, she wasn't there. The kids were at her sister's. Her side of the closet was half empty. But what caught my eye was a letter on the kitchen table. It read, open quote, "I can't do this anymore. You've changed and I deserve to be happy. My lawyer will handle everything. Please don't make this harder than it needs to be." Close quote. I laughed bitterly. Deserve to be happy? I built her happiness from the ground up. 2 days later, we met in court for the first time. She walked in with confidence, holding her lawyer's arm like a trophy. When she looked at me, she smiled, the kind of smile that said she'd already won. Her lawyer stood. "Your Honor, my client has evidence of financial mismanagement by Mr. Anderson and requests an immediate division of assets." I stood calmly. "Your Honor," I said, sliding a folder across the table, "I'd like to submit my evidence as well, proof of my wife's extramarital relationship, her neglect of our children, and records of her attempts to transfer money from our joint account without consent." The courtroom went silent. Claire's face turned pale. The judge flipped through the papers, then looked at her lawyer. "Is this true?" Her lawyer's tone faltered. We were not aware of these materials." I kept my eyes on Claire. She wouldn't even look at me. The judge dismissed her claims of custody and financial mismanagement instantly, stating the matter would need further investigation. When we stepped out of the courtroom, she finally spoke. "You had no right to dig into my personal life." I looked her straight in the eyes. "You ended that right when you betrayed me." Weeks passed and the truth spread quickly. Her so-called friends disappeared, her reputation in town fell apart, and the man she'd been secretly seeing, well, he left the moment things got messy. When the divorce was finalized, she got a modest settlement, nothing like what she'd demanded, and shared custody under strict supervision. Months later, I was back at my office when my secretary said, "Sir, there's someone here asking to see you." It was Claire. She looked worn out, tired, a shadow of who she once was. "I came to say sorry," she whispered. "I thought you didn't care anymore." I sighed. "You thought wrong. But now I do care. About myself, my kids and my peace." She looked down, tears filling her eyes. "You really shocked me that day, you know?" I smiled faintly. "You shocked me too, just first." She left quietly and I never saw her again. But from that day on, I stopped living in regret. Sometimes losing someone isn't a tragedy, it's justice in disguise. If you like the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.